All right, Mark. So we'll get into it. You're back in the cage coming up, I guess, next month. How anxious do you get back in there since December?
Well, I definitely, anytime you're coming off a loss, you want to instantly erase that. And, it's sometimes the stuff you have a long wait between fights. But, yeah, I need that and, kind of regroup a bit, get back to training and focus on getting back in that title hunt.
Yeah, and your last fight, obviously, you said you didn't get the outcome you desired in that one, and you came out there and ended really quick. A lot of people suggested after that you came out fighting with too much emotion because everything you went through previous to that. Was that the case, or was it just as simple as you got caught, you made a mistake?
I fought, out of character, came out so aggressive and paid the price. I can't break it down too much. I missed a wild looping left hook. He hit me with a counter right hand. That's the way it is sometimes, and things happen fast in the sport, and you make a mistake, and you sometimes have to pay the price, and that's what I did. So I didn't really sit and dwell on it too much because I know what I did wrong. I fought out of character, came out too aggressive, and again, it's a learning experience.
Mm-hmm. And obviously you're training with the usual suspects there, Chris and Sam. But I also know you were down with the Currans for a while. Can you explain how that experience was and how that came about?
Well, it was great. I work with Jeff. I've had a relationship with Jeff since about 2002. We met when we both fought in Super Bowl, and I trained with him starting, I believe, in 2004. So I was doing camps back and forth to Chicago. So I've always had a long-standing relationship with Jeff. He was in my corner for my first UFC fight, UFC 58. As well as my second one with George Gurgel. So, he's someone that's always been somewhat a part of Team Tompkins in my career. So it's nice to kind of get back to that relationship, get back to that training. He's got a lot of great guys. His cousin Pat is doing phenomenal, and he's my weight class. So he's a great training partner, and yeah, I learned a lot from him as well. So it's it's good to get back with my friends.
Very good. So I take it that's something that will continue in the future?
Yeah, for sure. I'm heading down there again next week. So, I'm kind of going back and forth a bit. Just training a week here, a week down in Chicago, and then Jeff's going to finish up here and then corner for me UFC 145. So it's good to, he's got a great mindset for MMA. He's been around the sport for so long. He's had over 50 pro fights. He's been involved in the sport for over 20 years. So he really knows his stuff, and he's a veteran of the sport, and I have a ton of respect for him.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Now, you got Eddie Yagin ahead of you. He's new to the UFC, but he's not new to MMA by any means. How familiar with him, and what are some of the things you like about his game?
I've known Eddie since I fought in Hawaii in Super Bowl. I think it was 2002 or 2003. So I've always known about him. He's like I said, veteran of the sport. He's fought all the way up to 175 pounds. Just out of necessity because they didn't have the weight class before. So he's one of those long-standing veterans that's kind of seen it all. I think what he brings to the table is his power. He's got a devastating overhand right. He's got a really good guillotine as well. So he's short, compact guy who likes to bring it. So I think it's an exciting fight, and it's a good matchup for me.
And last year at this time, so much has changed. You were the #1 contender in the world, and you went through so much last year compared to now. So is this kind of like a fresh start from you, a new beginning going into this bout?
You know what? Like I look at every fight as a new opportunity, and again, like I said, I don't like to sit and dwell on too much. Like a loss, or I just want to stay hungry, and that's the way I've always stayed motivated. Just always staying hungry and wanting to win, and nothing's changed in that mindset. I just want to get back in there and get back on the winning track.
This fight was originally supposed to be in Montreal, and your last two bouts were in Canada, so I'm assuming you kind of enjoyed that they were in Canada, close to home. Now that it's moved to Atlanta, you disappointed at all? You're not going to get to fight in home?
You know what? Not at all. It's almost a bit refreshing, because then there's no added pressure with the media and whatnot, because at times that can be tough when you're training for a fight and being that accessible because you are the local fighter. So this one I can just just focus on the fight, and just get in there and do what I need to do, and that's win. I'm glad and honored to be a part of this huge fight between Rashad and John Jones. So it's a huge card, and grateful for the opportunity.
By the end of the year, what position would you like to be in? Back in #1 contender again, or?
I'm not even looking right there. I want to get back on the winning track. Like that last fight with the Green Zombie, I was so focused on getting instantly right back to right in the title hunt. Like right now, I'm just focused on winning and then earning my spot at the top, because that's the kind of mindset I had before I got the shot with Aldo. It was like, I'll get the shot when I deserve it. When the fans, when the UFC, when everyone around me is like, all right, yeah, you're the #1 contender. So I want to get back and improve that. So nothing more I can do is go out there and win.